Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Albums and Memories, where I talk about albums I have in my discography or albums collection. I talk about the memories they gave me. Now we're in Red Hot Chili Pepper month. This is the month of June, and I'm going to talk about Red Hot Chili Pepper albums that I have at the moment. Now, right now, today's episode, we're going to talk about Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, also known as my favorite Red Hot Chili Pepper album in their discography. Now, this is not only the first, not only is this the first album I ever bought, but it's probably one of the only albums I have in my albums list that I actually bought at a perfect time, and it gave me so many good memories. Now, flashback to 2010. No, wait, in 10th grade. So this was around the summer of 2007, I think, 2006 or 7, and I just decided to I had enough money and I decided to buy this album. Now, up to this point, all I had was an MP3. That was it, an MP3 filled with Red Hot Chili Pepper songs. And at that point, most of the songs from that MP3 had songs from Californication. And I figured, well, okay, I'm just gonna go with it. And so I decided, after school, it was after school on the last day of school, we got our report cards, and I went to my friend, and I was going to my friend's house. But first, we dropped off at an outlet mall called Trinity Common, and it was back when HMV was still a thing back there. And I looked around and I saw this album in the summer. Like, it was the summer of grade 10. I saw this album and I'm like, I'm getting this because I wanted this album. Because up to that point, I had about five or six songs on my MP3 at that point, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get this. And so I bought it, and I was hung out with my friend and his cousin at his house. Then I went back home a few hours later, and I put the CD on. And I remember saying, okay, I'm going to listen to the first four songs because, well, it's a complete album. Yeah, I want to listen to this all the way through, even though I know the first four songs. And then I listened to the song which I'd never heard of until that point, which was Get On Top. And I'm like, oh my god, this is actually pretty amazing. And I heard Californication, and I'm like, okay, I love this song too. And then I heard it easily. I'm like, oh my god, I love this. And I heard the rest of the album, and when I eventually got to I Like Dirt with that guitar solo, I'm like, oh my god, this is an amazing album. This album is so good. Everybody's just firing on cylinders, especially John Frusciante on guitar. And then, oh my god. And then I listened to the rest of the album, like, oh my god, this is an amazing album. Where have you been my whole life? And, yeah, this album pretty much summed up how I felt back in the summer after grade 10, because I was like, holy crap, I love this. Like, the memories I have, which was um essentially me and my friend and his cousin hanging out at his house, and I'm like, holy crap, this is amazing. And yeah, it just gives me the memories of just being out, being completely happy, completely complacent for the first time in years, And it just reminds me of just it just reminds me of the summer. It still reminds me of the summer. Like, this year is pretty much is the year that this year is pretty much the year of the 20th anniversary of Californication, and I actually can't wait because this is probably going to be one of three videos that's going to be released on the 20th anniversary, the day of the 20th anniversary of this album. And as of right now, I actually I have written a script for the music video, and I'm planning to do a Red Hot Chili Peppers Songs and Memories, probably already uploaded way earlier today. Now, I'm shooting this in late May, so I don't know, whatever. But seeing the booklet right here, just reminds me of me just sitting in this room right now, sitting in this room during grade 10 and just having flashbacks of you know, just genuinely having flashbacks of being a like a high school student during the summer, and I do really like how it actually like encapsulates it. Hell, like a month ago, I listened to this album all the way through, and I'm like, oh my god, this is just flashing back. No, this is just a good flashback and a good idea of how it is. Like when I bought this album was around 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old, and I'm like, oh my god, this is actually a really good thing I'm looking at right now. Like, oh my god. Like, hell, I haven't touched the CD case of this in a while, and it just makes me flash back. It's in, like, the CD's not in the case because, yeah, it's still in my, like, CD, like, quick look CD case, and I'm like, oh my god, it's still there. It's still there. And I've had this album for over a decade, and it still pretty much holds up. And I am glad, like, I bought this album first because it's the first album I bought at the right time during the summer where things were happening, things were going to happen in a good way. And I'm like, holy crap, this is actually really good. I can't explain how much joy I pretty much got because like this is one of three albums I bought during grade 10, and I'm glad like this is my favorite like to listen to. This is my favorite to listen to during the summer. It's right pretty much right up there with this and a Blink 182 album I'm gonna get to eventually. It's coming soon. It's just that it's gonna take a while. I just have to remind myself to like say it. But yeah, like okay, the poster for the what I'm gonna say is right there. But yeah, this album is it just goes to show that this is pretty much a summer album. Now, granted, the clipping there's some production issues in terms of clipping, but I know for a fact that this album is my absolute favorite in terms of rock ever. It's my favorite rock record. It's my favorite. It's my favorite album from their discography. It's my second favorite album ever. Like as you know, the Chaos' Joyful Rebellion is my first, but it's my favorite album ever. And I am so glad I bought this album. Hell, I'm pretty sure I'm before I go to work on the 20th anniversary, I'm gonna be listening to this early before I go to work, just to celebrate it, just for a celebration, you know? Because this is a great ass album. If you haven't listened to it, go ahead. Just be mindful that um there's some clipping issues, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it is an extremely good album to listen to. And that's it for another episode of Albums and Memories, and I will hopefully see you soon. Thank you. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Albums and Memories, where I talk about albums I have, and I talk about the memories they gave me. I'm gonna start that again.